Alright, menu number 4. Cheese and Veggie Omelet. Arguably the worst MRE of all time. Of course, that's a pretty bold statement there, and it's all a matter of opinion and taste, I suppose. I'm sure anyone who's had a lot of MREs has their own idea of what they consider the best and worst. And I will say that a lot of people have asked me what my favorite MRE is and what my least favorite MRE is, and it's always been a question I've had a hard time answering, and one that I've kind of evaded answering, because, in all honesty, as a lot of you probably know, I kind of enjoy MREs. I generally actually like most of them that I've had. Of course, I'm taking into account what they're designed for and the fact that they're shelf-stable food, not fresh food I'd find in a restaurant. But the cheese and veggie omelet, I've only had this once before, so at least I can say I've had it before. This was produced between 2005 and 2008, and I only had one of these. It was at a time when I hadn't had MREs in a number of years. This was before I started reviewing, and I just kind of wanted to try a few and see how they changed since the last time I'd had any. And this just happened to be one that I got off of eBay, and I wouldn't say it was the worst thing I've ever eaten, but I wasn't very impressed with how much MREs had improved over the years. As it turns out, it wasn't really a very good test case. There were a lot better things out there. It just so happened that this is what I was able to find at the time. But I will say that, in my experience, the cheese and veggie omelet is the worst MRE I've ever had. Not including the old brown bag ones, which I give a pass because they were the earliest MREs and they hadn't done all the developing. The fact that this was introduced in 2005, at a time when the menus had improved so much, it just kind of doesn't make any sense to me. But let's go ahead and take a look at it. This is, as I said, menu number 4, cheese and veggie omelet. This was made by the American Packaging Company. And it has a date code on it of 5244. Meaning it was packaged on the 244th day of 2005, or September 1st, 2005. So this is from the first year of production. I guess if we're going to go ahead and do a cheese and veggie omelet, we might as well do it right and get one as old as we possibly can. So this one is actually well over 9 years old. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what's inside of here. And here it is. Egg omelet with vegetables and cheese. There's the nutrition facts. Looks a little different than it does now. I've got to keep in mind this is close to 10 years old. See, in the ingredients we have whole eggs, tomatoes, water, diced green chilies, green chili peppers, water, salt, blah 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 blah, Monterey Jack cheese, part skim milk, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So basically, I guess the veggies are tomatoes and green peppers. That's interesting. Nowadays a lot of MREs come sealed in an inner bag. This one, everything but the main entree is sealed in an inner bag. Let's see if this has a date code on it too. Yeah, this has a date code on it too. Same date, 5244. And now this is the first thing I see here. This is actually very interesting. I was under the impression I was going to need to find something to mix the beverages in, because supposedly the hot beverage bags were introduced in 2006. So even though this is from the latter part of 2005, I was not expecting to find one in here. But here's a hot beverage bag from 2005. I'll take it. With the flameless ration heater. I'm not really sure what to expect from this as far as how well it's going to work. It's from 206th day of 2005. And flameless ration heaters do tend to lose their effectiveness over time. We have apple jelly and crackers. There's some almost 10-year-old Skittles. I'm guessing this is a best before August of 2006. This is a apple cinnamon toaster pastry. And here's our side, the shredded potatoes with bacon, also known as hash browns with bacon. Nutrition facts on that one. A standard brown MRE spoon. And an accessory pack. Yeah, this one didn't actually come with a beverage. It's interesting. The only beverage was the spiced cider that's found in the accessory pack. Nowadays, you usually expect to find 2 or 3 beverages, but this was a different time. There's a strong smell coming out of the bag. It's been sealed for so long. It's partially from the cider, I'm guessing, but it doesn't. Oh, the gum too. Yeah, it definitely smells like the gum. This one being sealed in there that long. So we have a spiced cider drink mix, toilet paper, Tabasco sauce, which is still liquid in here. That's impressive. I have to try that. Moist towelette, salt. In between the salt and the Tabasco sauce, you'll be able to make the omelet a little more palatable. Chewing gum, and matches. So overall, we're not getting a ton of stuff with this meal. We only have the one beverage, this small cider, which only makes 6 ounces. But at least we do get, even though it's the omelet, at least we do get a full 8-ounce sized entree and the side, the hash browns and bacon. Alright, now we'll make an attempt to heat up the entree and the side in the Flemish ration heater. As I mentioned, this is from 2005, so it may not work that well. Because of the nature of the omelet, I do want to have it heated, so if this doesn't work very good, I'm probably going to go ahead and throw it in some boiling water just to make it nice and hot. And at the end of the review, I'll let it cool off and I'll try it cold, because I think that's about the worst thing you can imagine, is the veggie and cheese omelet cold. This is interesting. The Flemish ration heater seems to be missing the upper notches for tearing it. Seems to be a problem you see from time to time. It's kind of funny how they spell omelet. Alright, so I'm going to try to heat both of these up in here. See how that goes. Put one pouch, actually, you know what? You put one pouch on each side of the heating element, but because you want to make sure that these things are activated, I'm actually going to start it with just the one. Add some water to the fill line here. About there. And you want to get the water into the heating elements. There's 4 of them there, and you want to get the water in there to activate them. This is why if you're putting 2 of them in here, it's harder for the water to get to the elements. And then actually just add a little bit more water. I don't know how this is going to work, but I'll put the hash browns on the other side. Fold the top over. Slide it back in the bigger box. And put the whole mess on a rock or something. It doesn't seem to be doing very much. I can hear it, but it's I can smell it too. So it is reacting, but it's not really I don't think it's generating enough heat. I just wanted to put some water on to boil, so I think I'm going to end up putting them in that. But let's go ahead and give this a few minutes to work, and in the meantime we'll see what else we have. It is the apple cinnamon toaster pastry. This does appear to be, I think, appears to be a Pop-Tart. It's an unfrosted Pop-Tart. I'm trying to place that smell. It doesn't exactly smell like a Pop-Tart. It smells a little bit like a wheat snack bread, like a wheat snack bread with apple and cinnamon on it, in it. but I think it's just a matter of age from being in that packaging for so long. More of a packaging smell than anything else. It's the crackers. Almost 10-year-old crackers. Let's see what's the 5216 on this one. See if we can get the hiss out of it. There it goes. Boy, that smell of that Pop-Tart is almost overwhelming. It's sweet, which is good, but I don't know, I guess it's a cinnamon thing, the combination of apple and cinnamon. Which is kind of it smells weird. The crackers just smell like crackers. They came out one piece, which is nice. Oh, except for that. Put a little of the apple jelly on there. This is probably going to be quite runny. You don't normally have to knead the jelly so much as the cheese spread and the peanut butter, but I just kind of want to, I know it's going to be watery, I want to sort of see if I can mix it up a little bit. As far as the jams go, the apple jelly is always one of the better ones. It seems to smell fine. We have our well past the expiration date Skittles. So for these two stuck together, they don't look too bad. And my guess would be that other than being kind of hard, they'll probably taste fine. But the only thing we have left is the spiced cider. And with it coming in this paper envelope with it's got the foil inside, but these always the smell kind of comes out. And I don't know, spiced cider, I've always liked it, but just like the Pop-Tart, the smell, you can tell it's been sitting around for a while. This only takes 6 ounces, so even though this did actually come with a hot beverage bag, I'm going to go ahead and mix it up right in the cup. It's quite dark. And yeah, just a matter of age. It does smell like the MRE cider, but it is ever so slightly packaged, almost plasticky kind of smell to it. It makes it looks like a Pop-Tart. And the omelet and hash browns aren't really getting much heat, so I'm going to go ahead and put these in some boiling water just to heat it up nicely. Okay, these things are very hot now. The from this ration heater, it barely got them even lukewarm. I don't even think I would use that term for it. And I did notice after boiling the retort pouch on the omelet is showing some weird signs here. It looks like some of the layers are starting to separate a little bit. I'm guessing this is an age thing. I don't know how much longer this would be a viable way to store these things. But of course it's not designed to last for 10 years anyway. That's going above and beyond. But let us see what we have in here. It feels really full. This is a good sized omelet. They're not skimping on the size, that's for sure. But I think it goes past the top here, so I have a feeling this is going to spill out to some extent. Oh wow, that's that's not a very appealing looking thing.
Oh wow, that's not a very appealing looking thing.
Okay, that's the omelet. Doesn't really smell like very much. But at the same time, it doesn't have any really awful smell coming off of it either, which is good. There's your omelet. Basically a brownish yellowish solid loaf almost with some green and red in it. Now the hash browns. Actually looks pretty good. As with all MREs, if it's possible to heat them up, they always tend to be better that way. Now it's the moment of truth. I'm going to give this veggie omelet a taste. Pretty spongy. Because it is egg, it's not like egg shouldn't be like that, but not the most appealing looking thing. I guess is kind of what I take out of it. You'd almost think that was like a pound cake or something. You can see some of the green pepper in there. And I guess I have to do this, right? I don't really get the taste of cheese out of this. But it has a little bit of flavor, and I guess that's probably what it's coming from. More than anything else. It's not something I would really look forward to eating, or that I could see myself choosing to eat over something else. But it is edible, even after almost 10 years. Nothing exciting, but certainly edible. I think these are going to help. I generally add salt to my eggs anyway. Yeah, it just makes it salty, but that's a good thing. Let's see if I can get this thing open. Now, of course, the Tabasco sauce itself is almost 10 years old. That even has a date code on it, 5168. But it is still liquid inside, which is a good sign. If I can manage to get it open. There we go. Well, it's liquidy down here, but it's actually solidified up near the neck, apparently. Hold on a second. Whew, it's got some kick to it. Magic chopstick was the thing that helped. Just stuck that right in there and it opened it up. Yeah, I usually don't add Tabasco sauce myself because I don't really do spicy foods, but in the interest of trying to make this taste better, still doesn't want to come out. Yeah, it's not a lot, but I'm going to spend all night doing this. Alright, so I have a little salt on here, a little Tabasco sauce. I'm sure in the field, somebody who likes the heat would add a lot of Tabasco sauce. Now, that's a big help. I wouldn't say it enhances the flavor so much as it covers the flavor and adds some flavor too. But I will say that Tabasco sauce didn't lose its punch after 10 years. My lips are burning right now. Now I'll go ahead and try the hash browns of bacon. And those are good. The bacon is certainly a nice touch. And there is some green pepper in there too. But it's basically just potatoes with bacon and apparently green peppers. Nothing too exciting, but it tastes good. And I'd venture to say it tastes quite a bit better than the omelet. I've had some hash browns that were kind of on the bland side, despite having the bacon in them. You see, there's a big piece of the pepper. But yeah, I have had some that were bland, but this isn't too bad. I think I might still add a little bit of salt. I don't think it needs Tabasco, but salt's helpful. Yeah, those are very good. Try some of this Cracker with the apple jelly. Cracker itself just tastes like an MRE cracker. It's dry and bland. It's not very salty or anything, but it seems to be fine. It hasn't spoiled or anything. And here's the apple jelly. That's really good. I don't see any issues with age with that one. No aftertaste or anything. It just tastes like apple jelly. The apple jelly is it's a nice thing to get. It's a nice little treat. And the apple cinnamon toaster pastry. Not too bad for being almost 10 years old. Still trying to think of how to describe the smell and now the taste of the apple cinnamon filling. It's good and it's sweet, but it doesn't exactly taste what you expect from a Pop-Tart. Something about it. I think it's just the packaging. It just kind of gives the apple cinnamon a bit of an off taste. Still good, but it's not very fresh, I guess. Try a few of these Skittles. Seems like the green ones have the most discoloration. Nothing too bad, but... Oh wow. Those taste fine. A little bit crunchy to start with, and Skittles are always chewy, but maybe a little bit extra chewy. But they taste just like Skittles. They're very sweet. I think they survived the 10 years pretty good. And last but not least, we have our spiced cider. Which is good. It does have, just like the toaster pastry, it has a bit of a packaged flavor to it. You can tell it's been sitting in something for a number of years. But it's still good. This is the only drink you get with this one. It's only 6 ounces. Usually the fruit drinks are about 12 ounces. And of course, there's the coffee drinks and the hot cocoa and stuff like that. So there's not really a lot given to you other than the water that you might be carrying to wash this down with. But overall, I have to say it's not all that bad of a meal, with the possible exception of the omelet itself. It's just not very appealing. There's so many things that are a lot better. I prefer the meat-based ones to the vegetarian ones, and even though this isn't a vegetarian meal, obviously it's a cheese and veggie omelet, so it's just eggs and cheese and veggies, and just not very appealing. I know I'm not saying anything really terrible about this, but it's still, I'd say it still remains my least favorite MRE, or at least my least favorite entree. It's just not great by any means. But I am going to attempt to finish the whole thing. So that was a look at a almost 10-year-old genuine MRE, menu number 4, cheese and veggie omelet. Alright, so it's a bit later and I figured I'd give a little update here. My plan was to eat the whole thing and show an empty plate, sort of to prove that I ate an entire cheese and veggie omelet. But to be honest, this thing really is not very good. But since there is some left, it does give me a chance to do what I said I was going to do, and I had forgotten about. I'm going to try a little bit of it when it's cold. I gave it a generous amount of salt, and it's just it's kind of bland. It's kind of like eating a sponge. It's just not very good. I don't know how to really describe it, but there's definitely a reason why it has its reputation, or had its reputation, since it hasn't been made in 7 years. Yeah, and it's even worse cold. I feel bad for soldiers that had to eat these on the run and didn't have a chance to heat them up. It's just not very good. I don't think I'm gonna be able to finish it. I don't think it's gone bad or anything. It just is not very pleasant to eat. On the other hand, everything else is pretty good. The hash browns are really good. I had a little bit of salt to them, but I really didn't need it. The crackers and the grape jelly were good. The toaster pastry was pretty good. And the cider was okay. I'd say the cider, the crackers and jam, the toaster pastry, They also showed a little bit of signs of aging. Nothing major, but I think they all would have been better if they were fresh. The Skittles and the hash browns are probably the best thing in this entire thing. Partially because the Skittles still taste good. I did notice a little bit of a taste in the shell. Kind of a little bit of a plasticky taste, I guess from being, about 10 years old. But once you get through that, they taste pretty good. And I think the best part about it is they're a great way to cover up the taste of this when you're done. I would definitely recommend saving a few Skittles and just chowing down on them and getting rid of the taste. That's kind of what I've been doing. But I think I'm gonna leave that corner. No reason to torture myself. It's certainly edible, but it's just not very good. So that was the cheese and veggie omelet. Thank you for watching.